This sode would not be possible without the support of our listeners, patrons, and sponsors. If you'd like to find out more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/3BG. And a major shout out goes out to our boss level patrons, Christopher, Patrick, and Skylar. Dude, I've been having some weird dreams lately.
Yeah, me too.
So last night, I was ghost hunting on Mars and Hades was there?
No way, I was on Mars too, but I just rescued my husband from cannibals?
Dude, what is going on?
I think we need to stop playing video games so late at night. You've just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is ZZ Bud Nasty. You'll get that joke later.
Coming hot from Alberon Nipper. Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. Our news this week, as with all weeks, is brought to us by Crave Cookies. Crave! Crave Cookies is this awesome cookie and soda shop here in Salt Lake City, Sandy, West Valley. Is that it so far? Locations.
I think that's what we got so far.
We got so many locations, folks. Yeah, Trent was just opening up Sandy tonight.
Ooh, his coming soon list is gigantic.
Oh my god!
Did you go on his website right now and look at the coming soon?
Yeah, dude, I've been pimping that for weeks. I just stare at it sometimes.
He just added a bunch of these that we've got. Alpine coming soon, American Fort coming soon, Bountiful,
Syracuse, I think,
Draper,
or
Harriman.
Saratoga Springs. He was working on that. Shit's getting set up,
dude. If he opened one, there's not Syracuse on here, but if there was, I would go there all the time.
So if you go to cravecookies.com, you can check out the locations. You can also check out the cookies he's got this week. He's got a lot of amazing ones. He's got a good menu. He must be opening a new location this week. Waffle Crisp, Ruby Chocolate Chip, Cereal Milk. The Cherry Danish I absolutely adore because he modeled it after the Danish thing that is cherry thing that his mom makes for every Christmas. And then the Brookies and Cream. I gotta say one thing though. This is the problem with being colorblind. This Ruby Chocolate Chip, dude, legit. It kind of looks like a ham and cheese Hot Pocket to me. Because they're like kind of pink. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I mean,
guess
I could kind of see where you're coming from.
Being colorblind sucks, man. I could never fucking eat that particular cookie because I'm like, what? It's too much pink.
Dude, that's super funny.
It's cookie meat.
Well, they are ham flavored chocolate chips. So.
Ham chips. I love it. Melts in your mouth. Blizzard president has tweeted, no one is doing NFTs.
Why do you tweet that?
That's a good question. This is Mike Ybarra, who has recently stepped into the role of Blizzard president. And he tweeted this in response to a story that was also tweeted that claimed Blizzard is pulling interest in its customers in NFTs and, quote, play-to-earn games. So what happened is people were receiving surveys from, I guess, Blizzard, or it looked like they were coming from Blizzard, or on behalf of Blizzard, and they were pulling interest in NFTs or free play-to-earn games. And Mike Ybarra felt the need to step in here and say that's not happening.
We're not doing it.
Let me tell you, Prez, it's happening. That is absolutely happening, unbeknownst to you, apparently. But if you don't think that your company and business managers within Blizzard are pulling and trying to gauge interest and gather data and statistics on their customers' interests in a variety of things, you're being dishonest. and irresponsible, quite frankly.
Well, maybe he just doesn't know. Did he forget that Big Daddy Activision, that is absolutely something they would do?
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. So, and I like, you're not separate from that as much as you'd like to be. So, long story short, Mike Ybarra is probably tweeting this either because A, he's like, I'll be out of Blizzard by the time this may come back to bite me in the ass, or B, he genuinely doesn't know that the internet never forgets shit like this and will absolutely drag this back up, just like they've been doing with all these emails and tweets that Netflix had about not ever having ads. And now that they're like, hey, we have ads, everyone's like, hey, Netflix, remember when you said this stupid shit? That's exactly going to happen to Mike Ybarra when Blizzard rolls out their NFT only next version of World of Warcraft.
Can I just say a quick note? Whenever I see the name Mike Ybarra, in my head, I say Mikey Barra.
Mikey Barra.
Like, as one word, because his last name is spelled Ybarra. So I just see Mikey Barra.
My word association is much closer to Sabaro.
Mike Sabaros.
Mike Sabaro. So Mike Sabaro.
Is he from New York?
Because if he manages my favorite authentic New Yorker pizza place.
Mikey.
Hey, Mikey, throw me a slice. The latest Sonic game, Sonic Origins, has locked menu animations behind a paywall. Man, this shit is hilarious.
This is crazy.
Isn't this funny?
Like, oh gosh, yeah, keep going.
So this is a remastered collection of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic CD. These were all on the Sega Genesis. The standard issue of this game is $40, so it's already pretty steep for just a remaster of 4 old games
of Sonic.
You can get these on Steam, by the way. I have them, and they're in parts of other collections. And you can get the individual games on Steam. They go on sale for like $0 all the time. But for this game, it's $40, and you got to pay $45 to get everything, which includes, let's see, some locked out DLC, which you'd expect, including the game's hard missions, camera controls on elements of the main menus, and character animations while playing music.
I don't even... okay, can I be honest? I am very confused at this. So do you see the image that's on there?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Because there's the standard edition, which is just the main game.
Yeah.
So is the main game included on any other edition besides the digital deluxe? Like, it seems like you have to buy 2 different things to get, or like 3 different things to get everything. Is that what I'm seeing?
So you're getting at another issue with this. So the issue number 1, which is the headline grabber, is like they're trying to just scrape money out of their consumers. They're trying to monetize the weirdest things like menu animations. Next, it's going to be like a load screen without ads is going to be the premium game content. It's a very weird choice, and it's coming out of a smaller title like a Sonic remaster. Is just like an obvious kind of toe in the water that should be kind of a red flag, a canary in the coal mine, as it were, that this is a really problematic trend. So that's the big headline grabber, the clickbait. But what you're mentioning...
do you guys want ring? You know when you grab a ring in Sonic and it makes that sound? You want that? 99 cents. What about the animation?
Otherwise, it makes a fart sound.
When you find... No, it's just
nothing. Or just like a nail on a chalkboard every time you grab one. It's like, eat, eat.
Or all sound cuts out completely. You don't even have the music in it. Every time you grab a coin,
oh my god,
complete silence,
and you get like fucking vertigo from it because you're like, huh,
what does that mean?
You like fall off your fucking chair because it's so disorienting.
The sound is on.
Actually, that sounds tight.
99 cents, you can get rid of that.
So that's fucking concerning for a host of issues that we really don't need to go into, because everyone listening to this podcast is like, wow, I can kind of see where that's going.
You already know, yeah.
But what you're mentioning is a big problem, which is that they keep getting into with all these collector's editions and special pre-order and special collector's pre-order editions and gold power editions and the Supersonic edition and the remaster collection edition. And there's so many different versions, no one even knows what the fuck they're buying anymore. And I have to think now. I think a lot about how my nephew, who is 7, I think, I recently got him a Switch, and my sister, his mom, doesn't really know this ecosystem that well. And I'm trying to think of her trying to buy her poor kid who just went to see Sonic 2 and loved it. And now he wants to play the latest Sonic game. And my sister's like, holy shit. She Googles it and she's like, wow, this game, this is the one I played as a kid. We had Sonic 2 and we had Sonic 1 and we played that a lot as a kid. So she tries to buy that for, what the hell is she going to do? You can't figure it out, Peterson, and you buy games every day.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I would buy.
What? And the whole point is just like, it's trying to create this artificial funnel to get $5 extra fucking dollars out of me. You want bitch, just make the game $45 fucking dollars. Fuck you. Just make it $45.
Yeah.
That is so neat. All this extra work that you built this whole website. They built a whole web page to display this 5-tiered game that you can buy all these different versions of, which is a remaster of 4 fucking games that came out in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Come on! Just make it a price and be done with it. It's so disheartening to see this out of a Sonic game because I'm like, dude, if this is what a small Sega title feels comfortable doing, imagine what Ubisoft's going to start feeling comfortable and
what other people want. This is, I mean, this is legitimate. I saw this and I was like, this seems like the wrong game for this.
Right.
If this was a games as a service, Warzone type of game, I would not be surprised. Guys, this is Sonic. This is a
Sonic remaster. These are not new Sonic games.
They did add some hard missions, JD, though. That you can do, but you gotta buy a different pack for those.
So it's a bunch of games from the 90s with a couple extra levels that the guys added. That's $45. That's what $45 gets you in fucking 2022.
Oh, you know what's really good in these games though? Mirror mode. Oh, you want that? That's a separate pack. You can't have the hard mode missions and mirror mode without 2 separate packs. I don't know. This is crazy. This seems like the wrong game for this. Is my whole point. I don't understand the strategy.
Why are there menu animations? Why do I need to see Sonic taking a bite of a chili dog each time I scroll up or down in a menu?
Why does that
cost $5?
I don't understand. What's the camera controls in the main menu? I don't understand that. And why that should be a non-charge. That seems like just a basic programming thing.
Dude, it's going to be pay $20 for the Jump DLC. That's going to be the next one.
Dude, you want to splash into the water? Every time you try to enter the water,
just makes a little tiny bloop noise.
Bloop. You got to pay for it too. You got to pay
or it's
to
ice.
get in the water. Unfreeze.
Your character just breaks all their fucking bones.
Sonic splats on the ice, dead. Dude, you can just get rid of this.
Pay $5 for an extra life.
Yeah, there's a heater mode where it melts all the water and it's just water again.
It's a really complex tier for the heater mode though. You have to pay $7.99 just to get the email to unlock the ability to read more about it. It's a big thing.
But no, as a bonus included in heater mode is also the music for level 4 when you play it. It's in there now. If you get
you can download it. It's not in the game. You actually have to pay extra.
You have to play.
Well, if you paid for the music play pack, then you can play music in Sonic. But otherwise, all your music, you can just download it and burn it to CDs.
And you have to start the CD at the same time you start the level. So
right. So most people are like, who needs it? I don't need to pay for the music pack. I got the music pack right here. I got a Walkman sitting on my desk in front of me, and it works just fine.
Okay, extra $7, you get the cassette tape for the music for the last 6 levels of game 2.
It's clear that these people had no idea how to do this pricing tier shit, but they're like, I think we need to do this because this is what games do.
This is what we do. Yeah,
it's the fucking cargo cult of video game pricing is what it is. It's like, I don't know. This is what we've seen people do this and they seem to make money. So let's just do it and see if it works.
We need money.
I love money. PlayStation is hiring a new director to head up their PC strategy.
PC. Oh man,
PC? I hardly know her.
it did. That's not how the joke works, JD.
You laughed. PlayStation is apparently seeking a senior director to lead its PC quote planning and strategy. This is a publicly visible job posting. It's just up there. A couple things they have here on the responsibilities: quote, lead PC growth and commercial strategy, growing PC MAU for PC content. Let's see, develop and implement global PC store strategy and process.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my thoughts. First, I just love how behind PlayStation always seems.
So behind.
Like,
this is a director, by the way. They should be hiring a vice president.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they call them different things at PlayStation or Sony. I don't know. But
yeah,
the other piece is, man, there's part of me that is just so excited for this. And here's why. Not because I care about playing these games on the PC. It's because PlayStation fanboys get so mad every time any PlayStation exclusive ends up on the computer, like Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
I paid for this PlayStation so other people couldn't play the games that came out on it.
Like, they get so mad.
Specifically.
And the fact that they're really leaning into it now, I feel like we're going to get some good gamer rage out of this.
Ooh, that is nice.
I'm excited because of that.
This is just a gamer rage job posting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pretty good, right?
Come work for PlayStation. Be the whipping boy.
Dude,
be the lightning
so many
rod.
People are gonna hate you.
of all of the worst of our community.
Don't even try to tweet.
Don't do anything.
Your Twitter responses will be horrific.
We're sending gore pictures to your mom. That's what we do.
Can you imagine if they end up hiring a woman? Oh my gosh. Dude,
I don't need to imagine Peterson.
Armageddon.
Because I know it's not going to fucking happen. Come on.
That's why I imagine. This is a fictional scenario.
In a fictional scenario, when a woman is hired alongside a co-manager to keep an eye on her, who is also male.
Hey, PlayStation's announcement to be like, hey, we hired Sally Jones for our new PC strategy. She would get immediate death threats. I'm talking like the tweet is out, and they'd have to turn it off.
Like pretty legitimate ones too. The ones where like the FBI is like, actually, we're gonna look at this guy.
They're like,
and we arrested that guy because that would actually seem like he might have acted on it.
Well, he posted your home address and he posted a picture of him outside your house.
He had one of those weird things where, it was like a collage of pictures of you that he'd clearly taken at a distance, and then yarn tied everywhere. It was a whole thing. Don't worry, he's in jail now. The great spiritual opium force field has been raised even higher as China bans live streaming of unapproved video games.
This is like, I guess it shouldn't surprise us at all that they're banning now people watching streams of unapproved games, the games they don't like that will impact Chinese culture.
What do you think? Spiritual opium force field? I thought spiritual opium Great Wall seemed almost too on the nose.
Too on the nose, gee.
Right?
But that's really what it is. But like walls.
What do they call it? The Great Firewall? So I'm like, dude, the Great Spiritual.
Great Firewall. Yes, JD.
No, that's a thing. They already call it that. That's like how they block Google and all that shit in China.
Oh, do they
that's
call
what
it
they
that?
call it. Yeah, they call it like the Great Firewall. So I'm like,
perfect.
What's our Great Firewall equivalent for video games? The Great Nerd Wall.
Nerd Wall? That just sounds like a bunch of nerds standing like arm in arm, linked together.
Together.
I don't know what they're protesting.
In nerdery.
I know I hate it.
We belong. This goes on.
I wish it didn't.
If you guys have any suggestions on, I like Great Spiritual Opium Force Field.
That works for me.
I liked Force Field because
the great, that works.
It seemed more made up, right? Like
when
the firewall thing makes sense,
like a limo window, like it's just raising further.
I was thinking like Stephen King's The Dome.
Yeah, no, they're putting absolutely. That's where we're at.
Okay, cool.
China is like 20 years from actually just dropping a dome over China.
Like, because I'm like, what would you do to combat spiritual opium? Like, I guess if you're sticking with the metaphor, the best way to combat it would be to like kick out the British. And in this instance, the British are video game developers.
I mean, that's essentially what they're doing. Just we're all the British.
Okay, so we're going with the
Look, I'm not that adept at Chinese history. I don't.
Yeah,
think
we're
I
gonna
can
have
get
to get
there.
into it, but I'll do some
Guys,
some
we'll
research.
study some Chinese history and we'll get back to you.
We'll get back to you.
It's gonna
We're
be
come up with an
historically
awesome
accurate.
fucking metaphor. It's gonna be historically appropriate. We're gonna take at least 7 minutes to explain the historical backdrop, and then whenever we say it, you're gonna be like, "Wow, these guys are clever."
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the National Radio and Television Administration of China, the state media thing, whatever. They said that platforms of all kinds must not live stream games that are not approved by related authorities. So even though the government of China banned new video games and has for like the last year, no new games that haven't been already approved, which is kind of funny. Is that to say that they're looking back on their track record and they're like, before we put down our foot down on this perfect track record, every game that we cleared, A-okay, because they're not going back and like shutting down these old ones that already got their thumbs up. They're like, no, the Communist Party never makes mistakes. That's why we stopped right now before we made any mistakes in the future. And so a lot of people were getting around this by live streaming overseas games, and people were just watching them. They're like, well, I guess I can't play Elden Ring, but quote, earlier this year, Elden Ring was a hit on Chinese game live streaming platforms, reaching 17.1 million cumulative daily average viewers, despite not having a license. This is according to Daniel Ahmad, who's a senior analyst at Nico Partners. So I think first of all, that's crazy. That's not 1.7 million. That is 17 million viewers.
Yeah.
Viewers for Elden Ring. I can't believe the streaming market in China is that large. I mean, I guess it's China, right? But shit, man, that's insane. And that's for a game that is not available in their country to buy.
I'm picturing the Chinese 3-bit gamer show.
Oh.
These guys are trying so hard. Chinese JD and Chinese Peterson are trying so hard to report on games, and they just can't because they're like, well, I was watching Elden Ring. Now I can't do that. So
you have simultaneously filled me with so much joy and heartbreak all at once with the realization that somewhere out there is a Chinese 3-bit gamer show and a Chinese D, and a Chineserson. And they have to deal with so much bullshit.
Yeah, they do. They probably just quit.
Yeah, it's like 3 episodes. They're like, this fucking sucks. This isn't fun. There's no video games out.
So hard.
Their news segment is just so boring and bleak.
JD, I've got some more research we have to do. We need to figure out what we're going to study China a lot this week.
We're going to learn everything there is to know.
What games are actually approved in China? That's what I need to know. Like, dude, that's a hard list to find. I looked a little bit. I could not find it. So I really
that's what I'm saying. Before they put up the force field, all the games prior to that are ostensibly okay. That's like they've got the tacit approval because they haven't been they were grandfathered in. So it's just any game update, even game content updates aren't cool for games that are on the approved list. So it's just like, I don't think it's a matter of what games are approved. It's just like you can look at games. If your question is this game approved in China? The answer is like, well, when it was released.
Was there a patch released in the last year? Then
well,
no.
Yeah, and if the patch was like not a content patch, it's okay. I think if it's just like matter of keeping the game stable, dude, I think it's really fascinating. And again, I keep saying this, and the reason I keep bringing this up, and I want us to keep talking about it is because I promise you, dude, there's not going to be video games in China. They don't want video games.
They don't.
That's
want
what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah.
like I feel like I'm crazy, and maybe everyone else is reporting on this because that's the like understanding, and I'm not that smart, and everyone else is like, well, yeah, JD, why do you think there's all these fucking stories about it? Because that's where it's headed. But I feel like that's not, people aren't understanding or like zooming out big enough to be like, no, they're done. They're like, what are we getting out of this? And Tencent's like, look, we're bringing billions of dollars in. And they're like, yeah, but are you exporting any Chinese culture, or is that billions of dollars coming at the expense of like us just selling out and westernizing our whole country, which they don't want to do. So video games just as a hobby, it just isn't Chinese enough for the Chinese government. I think that's the problem. I mean, you see, and I think you don't see like a huge movie industry pumping out a lot of Chinese flicks that are going outside of the United States and or outside of China. And on the flip side, there's like 9 movies that you can show in China each year, and they all have to be approved. And you've got Hollywood bending over backwards to make sure they're not even remotely offensive to
get on that list.
So the video games have had this free reign for so long. I think it is outside the norm, and I think as they tighten up their control over their people and their populace, this is going to be a big one, because you don't want Western influences of any kind coming in through and influencing. First, they started with the children, and now with your adult population or anyone. It's so weird. There's not going to be video games in China.
No, there will be. And here's the thing, JD. They're going to be like obvious propaganda or like learning games. And you got to be the guy who make that game. If you make that game, it doesn't matter how bad the game sucks and if Western markets hate it.
It doesn't matter if it's the Chernobyl of video
games. He made $1 million. The
guy made $1 million. The writer for Portal 1 and 2 wants to get writing on Portal 3 because he's, quote, not getting any younger.
Not getting any younger, folks.
It is literally impossible to say that phrase unsarcastically. I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any younger. It's impossible.
Wait, dude, what the crap? I just got a little bit younger. You can't.
I'm not getting any younger. That's it. It's the most sarcastic phrase in the English language. This is Eric Wolpaw, who is one F away from being Eric Wolfpaw.
Wolfpaw, but it's Polish, so it's Wolfpaw.
Well, have you told Polish people they're wrong?
Oh, I tried. They didn't understand me. They talk like they have marbles in their mouth. Have I ever told you that?
I'm like, speak English. What is
when I hear like Polish when I'm reading it, since I speak a different Slavic language, I'm like, well, take the marble. Why do you have cotton balls in your mouth? Why are you talking like that?
When I hear Polish people talk, I'm like, your English is terrible. I can't even understand a word you're saying.
Speak American.
Why is what are those words? Eric Wolfpaw co-wrote Portal 1 and 2
into it.
and Psychonauts, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2, Left 4 Dead, and most recently Half-Life Alyx. He was speaking on the Kiwi Talks podcast.
Wait, did he get stuck over there too in New Zealand?
Dude, maybe everyone's in New Zealand. Maybe we can get our podcast stuck in New Zealand.
Dude, here's what you do. I think what's happening is Gabe is over there and he's like, hey, come. I want you to come to a meeting real quick of New Zealand. Just come. We'll pay for the trip. And then he confiscates their passports and they live there now. So
are you saying Gabe is an Anchor developer?
Yeah, I am. That's exactly what I was saying.
That's pretty fun.
But
that's
it's in New
smart.
Zealand, which is
exactly where you want to be anchoring your studio, one developer at a time.
Yeah. So we got to get in on this. We got to get an interview with Gabe. He'll fly us out to New Zealand. Then we're in New Zealand.
He's
baby.
Like, you're stuck, and we're like, thank God, finally.
Can I bring my family? No. I have to start over my whole life here in New Zealand.
New family.
Can
okay. You could start a secret New Zealand family.
I've got a secret New Zealand family.
I've got a secret New Zealand family, and I always have jet lag.
I'm so tired. I fly
tired
so much.
It's impossible.
There are no direct flights. I can tell you that right now.
I have so many sky miles. So Eric Wolpaw is talking on the Kiwi Talks podcast, and he ended the show by stating, quote, "We got to start Portal 3. That's my message to whoever.
To whoever.
I'm not getting any younger," he said sarcastically. "We are reaching the point where it's crazy to think that we're literally going to be too old to work on Portal 3, so we should just do it."
Dude, so good.
This
I
guy,
love that he's like, you know, he's thinking about retirement or something, and he's like, "Are we gonna make this happen or not? Like, we need to make this happen. I need to get paid."
I also got to say,
whatever,
Eric
I don't know.
Wolpaw is worried that he's too old to write Portal 3, is 55 years old, and something in the brains of all the politicians in America doesn't stop them 20 years later from being like, "I can run the country."
Dude,
75 years old, time to get started.
See, Wolfpaw gets it. Wolfpaw
Wolfpaw's
gets
like,
it.
"I'm out 55. I'm way too fucking
He's
old
like,
for
listen,
this shit."
I'm already starting to write nonsense, and that's why our laws are so bad.
Yes!
They write them, and they're like, I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I need to go to
Diddle-doo.
dinner. I just treat the Senate as like a retirement community because I'm 90 years fucking old.
What are we talking about again?
Sega is rebooting Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi, which means the Dreamcast 2 must not be far behind.
Okay,
It's happening.
This
I
is
already pre-ordered it at GameStop. Put $50 down.
what? Okay, new business
You
idea.
can pre-order anything at GameStop. You just make it up. They'll print you a receipt with whatever you said on it, and they will take your money.
Dude, it's a blank pre-order form. You just type
Absolutely.
in what it's for.
Dude, the middle manager that came up with it at GameStop HQ, that guy got like 18 bonuses.
Dude, he got so much GameStop stock. He is rolling in it. No, that is actually pretty funny to think about. It's like a whole gamble that they do. They're like, you think the PlayStation 6 is coming out soon? You can pre-order it now, and every pre-order is $30, but it can't be announced. That's the
I
only
remember
key.
when Duke Nukem 3D finally came, or Duke Nukem Forever finally came out in like 2013 or fucking whatever. And it had been, and people were posting pictures of their pre-order receipts from GameStop from 1999.
That's
That game had been
awesome.
promised so long. So yeah, I think you can pre-order stuff.
I feel like feel like you really wrote this though. You really want that Dreamcast too?
Did you think that was the headline? Really? No, absolutely not.
No, I didn't. I think you read the headline.
I
and you
interpreted it through my very Dreamcast colored glasses.
Yeah,
Jet Set Radio
you
and
made
Crazy
your own
Taxi.
clickbait.
I know. These are two of the bigger games on Dreamcast, and they are two games with kind of the notable fan bases to this day.
Mm-hmm.
These are the like kind of cult classic kind of games on the Dreamcast. Crazy Taxi, obviously, you're just driving a crazy taxi with just trying to get from point A. You're picking up fares and driving around the city. It was super fun, and the handling on the cars was wild. And Jet Set Radio, you were skating around on rollerblades and tagging. It was very stylish, very slick, cell shaded, and it really kind of captured the magic of. But they both did captured the magic of the Dreamcast and the just kind of the frenetic energy of all the development that went into it. Feels like how it is today with all these indie games that are just doing random shit. That's what the Dreamcast kind of felt like, and these two games were very emblematic of that. These two titles, so they're rebooting. So Sega is rebooting them. I don't know what that means. Like, there's no trailer or pictures or logos or shit. These two titles would be the first entries in Sega's, quote, Super Game initiative, which is the most Sega fucking branding I've ever heard.
Yeah, so here's how it's going to work. The
Super
main game is $35. Okay, the standard deluxe pack. Then there's the premium fun pack and the classic music pack and the digital deluxe pack.
So you interpreted it that way. I interpreted it as like a Super Saiyan thing. So super, like Sega is making games. They're making normal games, but then they have their super games. And these are the ones that they actually really want these to be, quote, recurring revenue sources and build online communities. So this is actually what I think they were dabbling with this fucking Sonic thing. I think they're like
They're just throwing out. They're throwing
seeing,
out,
like,
casting out lines and see what they get back.
they are a developer that has traditionally built a video game and then sold that video game and then built the next one and sold it. And now they're learning that apparently you can sell the same video game in multiple different parts, and you just cut it up and you make some parts super expensive and other parts less expensive. For some reason, that makes you a little bit extra money, and it has the side run-on effect of infuriating your entire fucking consumer base, which is really fun. That's part of being a video game developer. So
They're
yeah,
okay
these are
with that. They're okay with that.
So it was actually interesting in this article. There was a report that Sega's reliance on games is increasing. If you scroll down in this, Peterson, you see that bar chart because they're increasing as versus revenues from
I can't see it
Pachinko
because
and
it's on Bloomberg.
Pachislot,
What?
Pachinko and Pachilo.
Nope, that's made up. Dude, this is a scam story. Fake news.
Dude, apparently Sega, like last year, Pachinko.
Is that a person? What are we
And then
doing?
Pachilo machines, Pachinko's little brother.
Oh, you're talking about like these are their arcade machine thingies that they have?
Yeah, and apparently, I didn't know this, Sega's revenue up until the pandemic was like fucking 50-50 Pachinko and video games. That is a very sad state of affairs in my mind. And I'm sure Sega's like, whatever, this is like very, like, whatever. We're serving these Japanese arcade consumers that love our products.
They do
like,
love
yeah,
that. They do.
You guys used to do Dreamcast, motherfuckers. Like, you guys were Sega, and now you're a Pachinko machine, and that's 50% of your revenue. Well, no more, because the pandemic wiped out so much of that because no one's going to hit the arcades in the middle of a pandemic. And so Sega has now refocused, and they're trying to make some more games. And that's, I think, yeah, I know this is just like with Nintendo. This is their roots. Arcade games and arcade things in Japan, in Tokyo.
Did you know Pachinko are gambling machines?
Yeah.
I want to
That's
play
why
this.
that's why it's so big on revenue.
I want to get in on that.
Peterson is all of a sudden like, oh, why is JD so down on Pachinko? This sounds fucking sweet.
There's a gambling thing that I have never played.
There's an aspect where I could lose money while I'm playing. This sounds great.
Dude, they're so colorful, though.
Bing, 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 bing.
You don't even
bing.
know how beautiful these are. Yeah, I want to play.
So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Sega's Super Game Initiative leads to less of them trying to bilk people and more like actually making games.
Choo-choo-choo-choo-boo.
Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg tried to kill negative stories about her boyfriend, cartoon villain Bobby Kotick. Hi,
Okay,
Bobby.
first mistake is you dated Bobby Kotick. Like, come on.
Second mistake is how was I not privy to this? Not that I'm digging into Kotick's Tinder profile.
Wait,
like,
did you dig into it?
It's not much to dig into. It's just 4 pictures of a goat. So these two dated from 2016 to 2019. And it's a good thing they didn't have children because their kids would have hooves. The Wall Street Journal reports details of how Sandberg contacted the Daily Mail's digital division in 2016 and again in 2019. Nice bookend of your relationship, covering for your scumbag boyfriend with an international news publication.
Dude,
I'm sorry, an international tabloid. So they were working to reveal a temporary restraining order against Kotick that a former girlfriend put in place in 2014, and they worked together to put a strategy to persuade the Daily Mail from reporting on this, along with working in tandem with employees from their respective companies. So Facebook and Activision were in on covering for Kotick.
Yeah. They just cover up job. She makes it seem like, no, look, these things are not connected at all, but it feels like it is.
Yeah, the Facebook response was like an outright denial. Some articles went on to speculate that Zuckerberg could potentially use this and the negative press that it's been getting to distance himself further for Sheryl Sandberg, who he's already on the outs with. Apparently, over the last 4 years, the Trump era did quite a number on their relationship.
Oh man,
It's always cute when two demons are fighting over the goblet of children's blood.
dude, this is what it feels
They're
like.
just
Though
trying to slap it out of each other's
I don't
hand.
think this story mentioned a person that I would trust ever.
Or a person I'd want to be alone in a room with.
Yeah,
Like
this is everything in this. I was like, ugh. Like the story just felt dirty reading it. I don't know how else to explain it. Like I didn't trust a single positive thing that was like the responses to this that Sandberg was saying. I didn't trust any of that, and immediately was like, so I maybe this is how you get into like conspiracy theories, because I immediately was believing everything negative and more. I was like, oh yeah, they're definitely sacrificing children. Like I'm not. It's in there, but it's just
there's a
the
pizza
lines.
parlor involved. I know it.
Yeah,
where are they doing the children sacrifice? How else do they lure in the children?
Like, but
if
these
not
are
with
people
pizza.
who are actually scummy, like who we know are just crappy people. Like,
dude, I love that they
Kotick.
gravitated toward each other. I love that like the two villains on this podcast were fucking for 3 years.
Ugh,
like that's so crazy. How did we not know?
I don't know. Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Isn't that wild? Like I'm like, come on, Activision and Facebook, at least for me, are like these personal demons that I just hate. And the fact that the heads of, because I mean, come on, Sheryl Sandberg, like Zuckerberg's having fun playing with his toys, but Sheryl Sandberg runs that company and has for years,
and they are like, ugh.
And they're just like, that's like, what do they talk about? Like, what are they like over dinner, like over a glass of wine? They just like, do they just like chuckle mirthfully? And they know, both of them know what they're laughing about. They're like, just like Beavis and Butthead of human suffering. Like, yeah, remember when we killed that story? yeah, Beavis, you want to go cause another genocide?
It's more like what did you do today that was awful? Like, I can't imagine they come home and be like, oh man, the craziest thing happened at work today. They'd be like, no, I caused the craziest thing to happen at work today. You would not believe what I got away with.
Yeah, because like as a couple, you like bond over the things that you have in common. And the thing that these two have most in common is that they run like notorious organizations and they do bad things.
They suck.
That's their bonding. That's how they were drawn toward each other. I don't know what split them apart in 2019.
It's like look, I've been playing.
Maybe it was like a ritual.
I've been playing a lot of Hades lately, so this is like the two of the gods in Greek mythology are not good. Like even the good ones are not good.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels. They're just like toying with humanity. And sometimes those gods got together, did crappy things together, and then split up, and then it was even worse, right? And that's kind of where we're at. I feel like these people are playing as Greek gods when they're not. They're just...
Or sometimes Zeus would come down and like fuck an animal, and then it would have a child.
Yeah.
And then he'd come down and fuck another animal, and it would have a child.
and
those two animal children hybrids were Sheryl Sandberg and Bobby Kotick.
Oh, there we go.
So keep on hoofing on, guys.
Don't say that.
The Pokemon Company has acquired the company that prints the Pokemon trading card game. Did I say?
This is pretty funny.
Did I get that all around? Yeah, so I guess the printer for the cards in the U.S. North Carolina-based Millennium Print Group was like an independent company. And the Pokemon Company stepped in and bought them. So now it's vertical integration, right? They just own every part of the production of these cards. They released this statement, and I'm going to read it briefly. With this acquisition, the Pokemon Company aims to further develop Millennium Print Group's capabilities, infrastructure, and scale to become a premier printer of trading cards, serving the broader industry. Millennium Print Group will continue to operate as a separate, autonomous organization, but will gain both investment and industry expertise from the Pokemon Company International. So, If I may, Peterson,
Do it. You
I would
may.
love to translate this. I'd like to provide my own HR translation
Okay.
and then see if you could check if it's accurate and tell me, how accurate my translating skills are into, or how well I speak HR, I guess.
Okay.
Basically, what I read from this statement is that, hey, dear Millennium employees, please don't quit. Like, you'll be fine. But dear Millennium upper management, yeah, we're coming in and we are cleaning house.
Yeah, you're not going to be there too long.
You're not going to be long. You're clearly not doing things right. You're not producing cards in the levels that we'd want. If people are stomping over each other in Target and Walmart to buy cards and they can't get them, and you can't provide enough cards for those people, well, you're doing something wrong, so we're here to help. How close did I get?
So, yeah, I think there's two parts to this. The first part is this is a supply chain move.
Yep.
Because this is a big aspect. This is a big, what's it called? A single point of failure in their supply chain system.
Yep.
And actually, I've seen the company I work for do this before. When there's a single point of failure, if that company, for whatever reason, bad business practices, whatever, if they go out of business, you're screwed.
Yep.
So I went to this, just quick story. I went to Mesa, Arizona. We've got a facility there that makes Apache helicopters. Boeing does.
Tight.
And there were Apaches everywhere, all over everywhere. I'm talking like 150 Apaches just sitting out there. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh, the government has bought all of those. The company that makes our transmissions for the airplane or for the Apache helicopter went out of business. They're the only company that did it. So we had to buy them. But that like 3 months that they were down, we have one transmission and we put it in one helicopter, fly it. The government says, yes, it works. They buy it. We put it down. We take it out, put it in the next one. We fly it. So they're just reusing.
This is not real.
Yes, because that single point of failure. So Boeing had to buy the company that made those. And this is what I think Pokemon Company is doing. They're saying, if Millennium Print Group goes out of business, we're screwed for months, right? Until we find somebody else who can do it. So why don't we put our money there? But with that, yeah, they are not going to let this company have bad business practices that they don't agree with.
Which they have been. They've proved all these Pokemon card shortages.
Yeah.
And the fact that people can't get a product that they would pay good money to get. It's fucking cardboard.
So
you can't get cardboard into people's hands.
So this is job security for employees.
Yep.
And yes, senior managers are gone. They're going to slowly be just phased out. Executives first.
There's probably going to be more jobs, honestly, for the production staff, the floor level factory workers. They're probably going to, it sounds like they're going to make more cards outside of Pokemon. They might have other ideas and other stuff. Again, this is just the U.S. Thing, but it's also notable. You can always, I think, through all of these shortages and all this bullshit, it's not been a problem to get cards from Japan, to get Japanese printed cards shipped.
Right.
So I think that is kind of proof positive that this company was screwing up. Peterson, did they name that Apache helicopter transmission? I feel like if it was serving such a good, it was moving these helicopters.
Dude, I don't know if they did.
They should have personified this thing a little more, put it in a glass case and fucking retired it or something.
They should have.
Dude. What a great little transmission. Way to go, buddy. And being moved and disassembled and then still working and then going up in a helicopter, which is a mechanical fucking nightmare. By all laws of physics, that thing should not work.
Dude, they should retire that thing because it was the only way keeping them afloat. Keeping that part of the business afloat is that one transmission that they had on site. That was it. That's all they had. And they were just selling helicopters. So the funny part, too, is the government was buying helicopters that could not fly, did not have the ability to fly.
I like the politician that was doing that clearly was a guy that was just watching Vietnam documentaries on fucking loop. Who's like, you know what we need? 150 Apaches, because that's the type of war we still fight.
Dude, and we
what?
were not... Yeah, dude.
What are we using Apaches for? What fucking conventional warfare is involving that?
This was what... A lot of Apaches went to the Middle East at this time.
Dude, you look at all the Russian helicopters, they're just like flying balls of, they're just like waiting to get hit with a rocket. Like, what are you doing? What is the purpose of that fucking thing anymore? It's planes or nothing, man.
Dude, I don't know. Apaches, if you've ever seen one in action, they're pretty nasty.
Yeah, you'll only ever see one at a time, though, because there's only one transmission in the U.S.
Yeah. If it gets shot down, they're like, save the transmission. Take it out
The
mid-fall.
transmission is like a black box. They built the strongest part of the helicopter.
They put it ejects, and it's got a parachute.
The pilots and everyone else is going down, but the transmission ejects.
Just
itself.
ejects.
This costs more than any human life.
Oh, gosh.
A former supervisor at Nintendo Switch Joy-Con Center has stepped forward, claiming the center was constantly overwhelmed.
Oh, interesting. Listen, we do not have a Joy-Con drift problem.
It is not real. You're all stupid for thinking that's a problem. Are you sure your thumb's not just like on the stick and you didn't notice it?
You're not accidentally pushing it?
So I guess there was only a single repair shop in Syracuse, New York, that was handling all Joy-Con repairs east of the Mississippi, which I guess would stand to reason. It's the same for the western half of the U.S., that there's probably a single repair shop. This one we know about, though, because a supervisor stepped forward and spoke on the record, not publicly, though, that the whole system that went into this is like, it's clear why this was always such a fucking problem. It's because they had one like repair shop doing this. The actual work was performed by a company called United Radio. And because United Radio struggled with employee retention, a lot of the employees were inexperienced, and they would get temp employees from Aerotech. So if you're following, I mean, this is very typical corporation shit. But Nintendo has a Joy-Con issue, and so they outsource it out to a repair shop in the US, who then outsources out their laborers to temp workers. And Nintendo's like, why can't we solve this problem?
Well, yeah.
We've done everything that we could think of, which is to give it to someone else and be like, will you solve this problem for us? It sounds like this was just a absolute shit show, especially with the temporary workers coming in and out. And, you know, they'd hire these temporary workers after 3 months, but very few of them made it past 2. And there was a lot of language issues because they were hiring immigrant workers, laborers that didn't speak English. And then no one on the floor or the trainers spoke the workers' language. And so they couldn't properly train them. And so these people were just kind of like sitting there trying to fix them. And at the same time, they were obviously, because we talked about it, getting a billion fucking Joy-Cons in a day. And they were receiving all sorts of requirements to increase how many they were fixing. And so they were just sending them out not fixed because they're like, well, fuck, whatever here. Like, I don't even know what you're saying to me. Like, they were just hiring the absolute cheapest people they could. And then when those didn't work out, they went to an outsourcing firm, a temp worker firm that managed to find even cheaper laborers.
It's crazy.
So that's what happened, guys. We've solved the mystery. We brought, I would say, this story to a very unsatisfying conclusion.
We understand it, though. We understand what's happening now. I think that's where we're at.
It was partially like, yeah, Nintendo was denying it, but I think Nintendo was like, well, we can just deny this while we fix it on the back end. But I just think this is such a lack of care, like from a company from a business management standpoint.
Yeah,
to not notice this. It's been 5 years, guys. 5 fucking years. The first year of Joy-Con drift, when you noticed it in your year 1 consoles, you should have been like, okay, we need to establish all sorts of programs. They established the Joy-Con return program, but apparently the people that were doing the repairs, the shops and stuff, there was no change whatsoever. They were doing the same thing all along. So Nintendo just put a prettier picture on it, and then they're like, yeah, whatever, we'll just keep shipping them off to Syracuse in big boxes and hope that they go back out to where they're supposed to go. It's a mess.
Yeah,
so that, Peterson, is an answer to your question from years ago, which is, why the hell is my Joy-Con drifting and Nintendo doesn't seem to care to fix it? There you go. The answer was capitalism.
Kudos.
All right. Our kudos are where we give something we like a shout out. And this week I have kudos for the Batman.
The Batman. Just the general Batman.
Just in general, I think the concept of an orphan beating up strangers at night is very promising.
Yeah, it's really
There's
great.
a lot of stuff there.
Now you need more of that.
He hits a clown. He punches a lady that dresses up in vines.
Penguins, he hates them.
There's penguins. He will just dump on them. Don't give a fuck.
Are you too cold? Yeah, he'll beat you up.
He will beat your ass. Actually, if you dress funny at all in his city, you're looking for a beatdown. So kudos to the Batman. Just womping on the weirdos.
Okay, what's your real kudos?
So the Batman is out on HBO Max, and I believe it's in theaters, but who cares because it's on HBO Max. Actually, this one would be pretty good in theaters. Just make sure to bring like a blanket, a pillow, and a snack.
Because it's pretty long, isn't it?
Very long. It is very long. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. And we're talking like Lord of the Rings long.
Wow, what? Okay.
That said, this movie is phenomenal. You guys, everyone's heard all the buzz.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It is buzzworthy. I have to think, and I mean, we can review this. I was talking to Jenna about this, but I'm starting to think that Robert Pattinson may be my favorite Batman ever. My favorite Bruce Wayne, at least.
Yeah, I heard he's good as Bruce Wayne specifically.
Because you have to think of the fucking competition. Isn't that great? Christian Bale was an okay Batman and a B- Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I'd say he was pretty good. Like, he was probably my favorite in there, and probably because the movies were the best ones.
The movies were amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
And his Batman, like I said, was pretty solid, but his overall portrayal, I think, of the character of Bruce Wayne and stuff, I think it was a little off. It was more Christian Bale than it was Batman. I think you look back at the rest of them, Val Kilmer, Michael Keaton was actually okay. He kind of got it. What about
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck, a hard no.
So here's what I thought about Ben Affleck, if I'm being honest. I thought he had the right look. I thought the look was fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Something about Ben Affleck.
But he's Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
If that was Ben Affleck's first and only role, I'd be like, yeah, this guy's great.
He was a great
guy. He's good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he's a good older Bruce Wayne.
Fucking Affleck.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
yeah,
do
same.
it.
I was like, he's the guy with the accent.
But Pattinson kind of captures, especially his portrayal of a young Batman, like a young Bruce Wayne that's still like figuring out what his deal is. That's this tone. And that's another thing that a lot of these Batman movies have missed, I feel like, is that there's just like Batman, especially like Batman Begins, is like Batman's just like, he's got it. He's like, I'm this guy. I'm always going to be this guy. And it's easy. And even though I'm being trained by Ra's al Ghul himself as which would be a weird first Batman training, he's like, I immediately am like more willful than that guy. It just didn't super fit. So I like that this character, Pattinson's character, was more raw and more just like a guy that goes out at night and beats up people he disagrees with. Like, he doesn't have it together. So I thought the casting was great. I thought the casting of Catwoman was phenomenal.
Who's Catwoman in it?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, you know what? I know very, very little actually about this movie, and kind of on purpose. Like, I if it's a movie that I'm interested in, I don't want to know that much about it.
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz, yeah.
Yeah. So Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
I've seen her in a few things, yeah.
She is stellar as Cat. I was like, I don't want to see any other Catwoman ever.
Can I just say, like, she's been in a bunch of movies, and I always feel like she's good. Is that weird? Like, she's always good.
She's very good in this. She's convincing. The Catwoman, because I really struggle. Sometimes Catwoman's character is just like, I'm a sexy cat. meow. Like, that's fucking the depth of it,
dude.
and I hate it. But this one is like, there's like a story and a character, and it's cool. The Penguin, they casted the Penguin is amazing. Riddler's the main bad guy, if you guys know from this, and it is pretty unique take on
Andy
Riddler.
Serkis is Alfred?
That one is weird. That one was a little weird, but he plays a different Alfred that I could kind of get behind.
Okay.
So that one is a little out there. But the Riddler, and I think the Riddler this may borrow from some existing storyline that I'm not aware of, but it was a new take for me for the Riddler. It wasn't Jim Carrey who run question marks all over his fucking costume. It was really awesome.
Big mistake.
It was an awesome take. And I will say the story is so far from a typical comic book story. Like, even because, Batman's usually pretty unique in terms of comic book stories. But even for a Batman one, it is out there. Or just a movie story. It's just a delight. And it's one that I think you could easily rewatch and still enjoy. Some of these ones you're like, I'm not sure. Like, I know the arc, I know the what happens. I want to see a couple cool fight scenes and be done. This one is so thought out, and I will say the when I say it's rewatchable, it's because there is a pretty good reveal. It's not like a twist, but it's a reveal that makes you just like, holy shit. I was like, I need to pause and like I wanted to pause and like chew on it for a sec, because you're like, oh my god. And then it reshapes the entire way you view the whole film, and you're like, oh, what the shit? Oh, so it's just kind of got like it makes you think, but it's not like it's like, it's some crazy twist. Like, guess what? Edward Norton was Brad Pitt all along. No, it's a lot more subtle than that.
Wait, what movie is that? Oh, I want to see
I don't
that
know.
movie.
No spoiler. No, it's weird. I think it's called Face Off. Brad Pitt is an FBI agent.
Okay, his face gets cut off. Wait, is this what it... Yeah.
And he's a hotshot FBI agent, and then cut to Edward Norton, who's a super criminal with two big gold guns.
Yeah.
So the Batman, the only nit I have for the Batman is that the ending was way too long, like 30 minutes too long. It just ended, and you're like, okay, I'm good. Like, you were asking if I was getting on, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like over. And then 30 minutes later, it kind of it absolutely is like this forced sequel setup that no one, like, it would have been so phenomenal without it. And it kind of just reminds you very much that you're watching a movie again, and you're like, fuck, man, just end it.
Yeah.
Because it is so confident in what it is, which is such an atypical Batman movie.
Okay.
Until the very end, and they're like, "Hit sequel, $6 billion, maybe franchise." But again, it's such a minor nit. I don't really care. It's amazing. Robert Pattinson is a choice in this. The Riddler is amazing. I'm so glad it's not another fucking Joker movie. See the Batman. It's on HBO now or HBO Max. So who cares? It's free. Peterson, do you have any kudos?
I don't have any kudos this week. This week has been dominated by soccer games and other video games that we'll talk about after this.
Soccer reigns. Well, then we better give kudos to this guy on Twitter, Fake Enormous.
Yes, please.
Who apparently just goes through old video games and takes funny screenshots and he's got this thread that he's been keeping going for a while. That is dumb video game character names from old retro games.
Guys, this is my favorite. Like, I don't think you understand.
Names like Matterhorn Decker and Rocky Garner.
Dude, this is from one game. They've got a Cobra Bloody Joe. Like, they're just trying
Geo Kentacky? Geo Kentacky, which I was telling Peterson sounds like Duncan, Idaho. Like, dude, a cool Dune reference.
Geo Kentacky. Mr. Sweetness is a football player.
I like Mr. Sweetness. Ooh, another one along the same lines of Mr. Sweetness is Babyhead.
Dude, okay. Don't mess with Babyhead. This is a baby operating a giant robot.
Voice Knuckle and Diggy Norton look like two different characters you can choose. Actually, okay, Peterson, would you guess that? I want you listeners to guess. There's a male and a female character. One is Voice Knuckle. One is Diggy Norton.
Which one's which? Actually,
one's
I'm
which?
looking at the image
And
and
looking
I'm
at
not
the
100%
picture,
sure.
you can't tell which name is associated with which person.
Voice
because
Knuckle.
one name is by one person's head and the other person's head, and the other name is by one person's feet and the other person's feet. So
yeah.
Voice Knuckle and Diggy. Voice Knuckle is actually, that would be a cool.
Yo, this is your boy Voice Knuckle.
No, that's like a music production company.
Oh, Voice Knuckle? Okay.
Get on Voice Knuckle.
That's
That's our podcast studio company, Voice Knuckle.
Oh, okay. Write that down. We need it. We need to be Voice Knuckle.
I need a pen.
This is the one I did at the beginning from some game, ZZ Bad Nusty.
Bad Nusty?
Bad Nusty. That's one word. Bad ZZ Bad Nusty.
I like this one. I don't even know what this is from, but it's a versus. Looks like a fighter game, and it's Spud Marmoset versus Sam Warhammer.
Sam Warhammer.
And Sam Warhammer looks like his name is Sam Warhammer.
Dude,
he's like a
big
bald
red
dude
beard
with like a huge red beard. Yep.
Cush nude butt.
Woohoo! I won. Simply delicious.
Wait, go back up to that one where it says main event. Dude, this is some good ones. This looks like a fighting game. We've got Kenny Wolf, Whippy Spader. That's the one I like a lot.
Bach Donnell.
Bach Donnell.
And Dusty King.
Dusty King, baby. These are great names. And
Dusty King is pretty cool.
Okay.
Bad Guy ABC.
Okay.
Thugs McGraw, Kid Creole, and Toulouse L'Attaque. That's all from the same screenshot of a guy kissing a girl in a archway.
Toulouse L'Attaque. Yeah.
I love that. The best part is all these have no context. This guy is posting screenshots of these games, doesn't say what the game is, doesn't say what it's where the context of these screenshots are. It's just like, here's a weird game screen with some, and then obviously this all comes back to the
dude.
1994.
Great Max and Alpha Bozak are from the same game as Spud Marmoset and Sam Warhammer.
What about Scunny Hardnut? Scunny Hardnut is a squirrel, because I know all of you immediately thought, well, that's a good squirrel name.
Dude, that is
right.
Squirrel name. Scunny
Your
Hardnut.
instinct that Scunny Hardnut is the squirreliest looking fucking squirrel you've ever seen was a good instinct.
Okay, can I just say I love sports games, obviously made in Japan in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at this? It looks like a sports game.
That's why I pulled this whole thing up for you, is because I know you love this. Dude, from fighting baseball on the SNES.
Super Mex is obviously a Mexican guy. Miracle Chosuke, Pretty Amy, just a pretty girl, and then the one
Pretty
that made me
Amy,
laugh, Big Jumbo.
Big Jumbo, Big Jumbo. That is such a fucking cool name.
I need
to put on 200 pounds and then everyone call me Big Jumbo.
That's what I was going to say. I need like a really funny fat friend who goes by Big Jumbo. I just feel like that feels like a Goonies in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, because you could not call a fat kid Big Jumbo these days.
No, but back in the 80s,
the first adult that said that word came out of their mouths, they would be shamed. So badly. Dude, hey, Big Jumbo, get over here.
Back
what did
in
you
the
just
80s,
say to that child?
With stereotypes, Big Jumbo is prime.
Dude,
so,
I like that.
What is this guy? Fake Enormous.
Yeah, I don't know. There's very little context for this. This was a Twitter thread that once more came to me via a news email newsletter. So that's how I browse Twitter.
This is so good.
And this is just a bunch of crazy names. If you guys have any fun names from retro games you used to play, come to our Discord and tell us your favorite one. They're all so good. Yeah, or actually, I'm going to post this thread in our Discord right now.
Yeah,
and you guys can come check out our Discord and tell us what's your
favorite?
Pick your name.
ZZ Bad Nusty.
I'm trying to think, like, we did read a lot, and I'm like, okay, JD, you got to pick one.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Geo Kentacky.
Geo Kentacky sounds not only cool,
Yeah.
but like he's like really hip, but he's also he
Geo
can
is
like
a
get
fucking
stuff
badass
done.
name.
Dude,
If
I'm
your
Geo
name is Geo, you
Kentacky.
have a cybernetic eye, possibly. You're
No,
good at
ZZ Bad Nasty has an
ZZ
eye.
Bad Nasty. You are the one that goes out and like recovers materials for me to work on in my science lab. ZZ Bad Nasty. God, I want to make this video game now. Okay, let's move on to the rundown.
Hey, dude, do you know what a rundown is?
Use it in a sentence.
Can you get this rundown for me?
Try another sentence.
This rundown better be really good.
I don't know, but it sounds like the rundown's really important.
All right, the rundown is where we talk about. This is what we call our game reviews,
Let's give it
and
a quick rundown.
we have a quick rundown for you of Weird West. Weird,
This game just came out March 31st.
super
So,
hot,
less than a month ago.
and it's on Game Pass, which is why Peterson and I jumped on it right
It's
away.
funny because I think JD talked about this
uh-huh.
a while ago, and I like vaguely remember that after I sent it to him, I was like, JD, have you seen this game? And then yeah, he played it, I played it. What a joy.
Dude, it
I mean,
is.
we are playing. I am playing it.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. I think I'm like 5/6 of the way through, maybe even closer. But it is a kind of that tactical perspective, that isometric,
Mhm.
top down at an angle kind of idea, and your character you're controlling a single character on what is a set map. So like it does have any of the area maps you're on. Like if you're in an area, this is needless to explain because it's like really hard to visualize. But you are a character that you run around and you have different abilities. You can shoot a gun. You can shoot a number of different guns. Your characters have specific abilities, and you can recruit followers. There's just a lot going on into this game. The background is that it is a completely fictional Western setting. It's the Weird West, so there's all sorts of like spirits and ghosts and magic and witches, zombies and pigmen and all sorts of crazy shit going on. And you're just going around. So you start out as a bounty hunter whose husband and son your son is killed and your husband's kidnapped by these crazy cultists, and you're like, well shit, I gotta go find out what's going on. So you head to the nearest town and you start doing some investigating, and they send you to these different parts of the West, and you start revealing the map. And the idea is if you go to anywhere, you can go to any point on the map. You can just tell your character to walk there.
Mhm.
And while you're walking there, you may run into a random encounter. You may not. You may actually get there just unmolested. And if you go to you go to a location, well, you'll show up in that location and it's set. And I don't know really how else to describe that. Like if you go to the edges of that quote unquote map area, there's nothing, and you'll just fast travel to the next. You can just fast travel again. But what that does is it makes that area, because it is finite and it's not rendering anymore, it's like a picture essentially. The game is very pretty for doing very little, I feel like, with like resource wise, I guess. And so I guess I feel like I'm getting nitpicky because it's really difficult to describe the gameplay. Can you do a better job of it, Peterson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's an RPG.
It reminds me of like the original Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Fallout 1 and 2. It's kind of like those games where you're actually walking around the map. There's stuff you can pick up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys you can. It played a little bit. Some of the aspects of it reminded me of Desperados 3.
Yes,
which was a
stealth,
game that we both played. You would sneak in bushes, and then and then the enemies had a visual line of sight cue where you could see where they were looking. So you would sneak up behind them and you could kill them silently. like JD did, or you can just play it
Just
like me
running,
and
guns
just
blazing.
guns blazing, just shooting everything, throwing Molotov cocktails, and just going. But this game is it's funny because it's wacky enough to where it's very interesting, because that's something that I think like Desperados 3 was missing, was just so that little extra, like the story was there but it wasn't that
It was just a
intriguing.
Western,
Yeah,
and that wasn't enough.
you're right.
It was
It's a
just
good game, well
Yeah.
built, fun to play, but it was like the story itself wasn't that enough. And this is like a weird, like it's called Weird West. This is a weird place to be. Anything could
it's
happen.
spooky and
Dude,
crazy.
Do zombies just like jump out of the ground and you're like, oh shoot, I'm in a fight now? And then the bad guys, so I'm trying to sneak around and there's a cemetery and I get near it, zombies come up, so I have to kill them. Well, that alerts the bad guys that I'm around, so they come running because they hear gunshots. They
now
start
zombies.
shooting, and like, yeah, it's just this crazy. You can plan it out, and as JD mentioned, one of the things that the game encourages, because there is a quick save, and JD kept telling me this: save it and retry it, save it and retry it, because they won't always do the same pattern
it's
They
crazy.
won't walk around the same way, or the enemies won't. So you're hiding behind a barrel and you try something out, it doesn't work. If you quick saved, you just go back and try it again, but they will not be walking the same route this time. They'll do something different. And so it does there's a little bit of that like impromptu strategy.
Yeah.
We can't utilize the same strategy every single time because it might not work time 2 or 3. But they do keep it interesting enough. My biggest nit, and I feel like this is actually kind of a big one, the controls are a little bit wonky, whether you're on mouse and keyboard or a controller.
Yep.
They never felt succinct. Like it never
Especially
felt
the combat.
Yeah.
If there was no combat, it would be totally fine. I'd have
Specifically
very few
the
complaints.
combat.
But once and the combat's pretty intense and fast, and there's very little to slow it down. There's like, if you do your dive roll, it goes into a slow motion very briefly, but it's not like VATS and Fallout. There's no consistent way to just slow the fuck down. It's like when things start popping off, there's one zombie that sees you. You might be in a fight with 8 people within seconds.
Yeah.
And like switching guns isn't
and
super
half of them are
intuitive.
turning into werewolves and charging you.
Yes. Aiming is not super intuitive. The
Aiming's
shotgun
easier with the mouse and keyboard, but some of the other things were much harder on the mouse and keyboard.
So that is definitely a big nit. But again, I appreciated the quick save, because a lot of the times if I felt in combat that was that intense, I'd fucked up somewhere, and I was like, I'll just load it, because I shouldn't be fighting 10 guys at a point.
Yeah, if you're fighting a bunch of people, you're gonna lose probably.
Yeah, that's not this type. It's not solely a stealth game, but it definitely is like, you should try to not. It's
try
not
to
a
pick
Duke
some guys
Nukem.
off.
It's not Doom, right? You're not going in there.
No, because
blasting.
reloading in this game is punishing.
Yes,
like you've got your shotgun out and you can blast 2 guys away with it, but you have to reload, click, and that like few seconds it takes to reload the shotgun and get it ready to go again. A werewolf has attacked you, right? And so you're like, you do have to be very careful. So that's why I died the most, is because I would just go in guns blazing. If there were like 3 or 4 guys, I was like, I could probably kill 2 of them real quick before the other 2 start charging me, and then I might be able to get them.
Yeah. So the game's awesome. The gameplay's great. I think the narrator, like the voice acting, is amazing. The storytelling is phenomenal.
Great. The game is built well. The controls are not great.
Yeah, the plot of the story is amazing. One thing that Peterson, I have been biting my tongue, and I'm just going to spoil it because everyone needs to know this, and you'll learn this probably in the marketing materials of the game, but you are not only playing as one character. And in fact, you play as this bounty hunter until you finish her story, and then you go on to play someone else's story.
I knew that was the case.
Okay, so you knew that going in. Okay, well, that introduces a bunch of different elements and a larger meta element to this story that you pick up on, and you're like, holy shit. And it is honestly so gripping. Like, once I kind of started to see where they were heading with the story, instead of generally in a video game or a movie, I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be a slog. I'm like, wait, what? How do we get there? What's happening? I'm so curious. And I just have been so driven into this game because of the lore and the world building. This is my first experience. Weird West is a genre. I believe it has a Wikipedia page. I believe Wild Wild West with Will Smith fits in this genre. But outside of that film, I don't think I have any experience with the Weird West genre.
Yeah.
Maybe there's aspects of Fallout New Vegas that would fit, but I didn't actually have that DLC, so I don't know.
But this isn't like a after the fact.
No, this is so
post-apocalyptic,
the weirdest
West.
of West.
Yeah. Yep. No,
and
go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like I spent most of my time kind of trashing some aspects of the game, but I thoroughly enjoy this game. I recommend it. I'm definitely going to get back to it when I finished a couple of the other games that I'm playing, because I can't wait to play this game again. But I need to just get into it and really play it, and I can't do that while I'm sucked into my Dice of Destiny game.
That's what sucked me away from this. One other thing I did want to say, just kind of on the way out, one amazing thing about it that I thought was just so cool is they did include Native Americans in this game, and they invited the Anishinaabe like tribes members and a writer who is Anishinaabe to write the actual characters and the tribe, which I think was real, that they used, or at least the stories and their lore that they borrowed from within the story was real. And I'm like, that is so fun.
I feel like that's just so smart. I feel like with the way the world is, it's not that hard. If you really want to do something like that right, it's not
even that it's not that hard. It makes your story better, dude. Yeah. Like, that's what I keep saying, is like Native American storytelling, their oral traditions that are thousands of fucking years old, that we don't have these stories that are like exposed to a larger audience, and who knows. And the story that you follow in this one is so good. The Anishinaabe, like the as you play as a Native American, and you can definitely tell it's like this is based on like a fable kind of thing, and a character from a Native American fable, and you are playing a story that feels as if it would be told as a fable to later generations. And it is just like, that is so tight.
Yep.
So I did like it a lot. I would say this game, I will say, I don't know even how much it costs, but I would worry that I have been very rose-colored glasses on this because I got it for free. It's $40.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So I've got to say, even though I adored this game,
I wouldn't spend $40 on it.
I would not have spent $40 on this and been like really stoked. No. I would have spent, if I spent $25 on this, I would have been stoked.
Yeah. This is $25. If you don't have Game Pass, it will go on sale. I guarantee it.
Absolutely, it's on Steam, so it'll go on sale. It's
it.
Devolver Digital, and Devolver Digital games, they go out on sales. They go on package sales and deals with their other games. So this game is something you should definitely get on sale. But you should play it on Game Pass right now if you have Game Pass, for sure. You should put down whatever you're playing and prioritize this. It's a good story. Jenna just watched me play it because there is a lot of voice acting and it's watchable. Yeah. It's cinematic. It feels cool. I'm trying to think of if it was a food. It would be something, I guess, that is really weird that I hadn't tried, and I was like, dang. Why haven't I tried this before? I hope they make more of this.
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one. because this does feel like a mashup of a couple different games that just work. This is like Korean tacos or something like that, where they've mashed up. It's the fusion.
Mm.
This is like fusion for me because look, fusion food, if you've ever had it, is like taking two different ethnicities and mixing them together and hoping it works. And I'll be honest with you, I love the concept of fusion, and the execution I'm like legitimately 50-50 on.
Yeah, it rarely works.
It doesn't
how
always
you want it
land.
to. Sushi
for me.
burrito, I'm out on.
I've had a sushi
Too
burrito.
much rice.
And it's here's the thing. I liked it, but I don't crave it, right? If someone brought me a sushi burrito, I would eat it, but I don't go get one.
If a sushi burrito was free on Game Pass,
there you go. Exactly. Yeah. That's great. This is a sushi burrito. It works. I like it. When I ate it, I was like, hey, I'm enjoying this. I like all these flavors. This is fun. But yeah, if I had to spend $40 on this game, I wouldn't have played it ever. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. I feel like this is like a Popeye's chicken sandwich for me, because it's like I'm just discovering like a chicken sandwich that's just the sandwich. It's just chicken and pickles. And I'm like, this is so weird. And like, I guess it works. Yeah, this works. For me, that's this Weird West genre. And now I'm like, God, I hope everyone does this. I hope we see a game that's another game that's set stuff in this genre, because I think Westerns are kind of catching on, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, you like Westerns.
This is a random crazy tangent. I was talking to Jenna about this. I love Alaska, and I'm a little obsessed with Alaska. I had this realization the other night that the Alaskan gold rush, the Yukon gold rush, occurred at the exact same time as like the West and all the stuff that was going on. And there was a ton of overlap. I mean, there were frontier towns they were building in Alaska. There was the same people, the same prospectors that were doing the same shit in Colorado and Wyoming. So my point here that I'm getting at is, why don't we have any Westerns in Alaska?
Alaska Westerns?
Alaska Westerns?
Like
now I want a weird Alaskan Western. That's
Okay.
what I'm asking for.
Yeah, that would be
devs.
Okay. Let's do it.
So
I feel like I would feel cold all the time.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about it. You got fucking polar bears in your Western. Yeah, buddy.
Oh my God, the first impression rose.
Okay, first impression rose is the segment we have where we have taken a game out just for that first date.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotten to meet them, haven't spent too much time with them, but enough time to be like, I wonder if we should continue on. Peterson, your first impression rose game that you've been playing recently is
Phasmophobia.
Tell us
Danny
about Phasmophobia.
Would be proud. I think Danny talked about this game.
She loves it.
So I bought this. Yeah, of course I've known about this game for a while now. But my oldest son, he's like really getting into like horror games and stuff. He likes them, and I'm like, dude, you're crazy. He wanted to play one, and I was like, and he was telling me this game, and I looked at it, and it was like, a $3 Steam game, and I was like, dude, if we're gonna play a game, don't play a piece of crap game. There's good ones out there. So I was like,
wait, you're the one that introduced him to Phasmophobia then?
Yeah, so I was like, have you heard of Phasmophobia? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, it's like $15. I think it's $14 on Steam. And I was like, dude, okay, I'll just buy us each a copy. Put one on his Steam account, one on my Steam account, because
he manipulates you by whining.
And I was like, let's play it. Let's try it. And so we started, and we were both immediately hooked. He is hooked. Like I'm level.
Talking about it all the time.
I'm level 4. He's level 30. We started at the same time. And yeah, he talks about it all the time.
I didn't realize there was levels in this game.
He's found friends. So what this is, Phasmophobia. What this is a ghost hunting game. If you've ever watched like Ghost Hunters, the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. This is Ghost Hunters, the show, as a game. You start off in your ghost hunting van with all the kit that you've purchased. So you can buy. You start with like basic kit, like video camera and EMF reader and all that stuff. but you can, before the match, you can buy extra kit with money you've earned from doing other missions, like extra stuff like salt and incense that lures them, gets them away, in a crucifix to stop them from
Sounds
killing
like
you.
Supernatural, the video game.
Yep. And you go into a house, a haunted house or a haunted school or a haunted whatever, and you got to find the ghost. You don't know anything about the ghost. You just know its name, and you have some objectives. So you go in there, your whole crew, right? You can play with up to 4 people. I've only played with 3. And this is a game where absolutely more is better. Because you go into the house, and it's all dark, right? Sometimes you have to turn the power on.
You're all on the same team. This isn't like an asymmetric.
Nope, you're all on the same team watching your own screen.
Okay.
And you're going around and trying to find evidence of this ghost. And because each ghost has 3 ways you can find it. Like if the EMF hits a 5, and you've got a notebook, you open it up, and if that happens, if your EMF hits a level 5, you hit that, and then it like narrows down which types of ghosts it can be. And then if you catch a ghost orb on a camera, then you hit ghost orb, and then it narrows it down even more, right? Because what your main objective is to stay alive and to figure out what type of ghost it is.
Just figure it out. It's just a knowledge hunt.
Yeah,
not killing it or anything.
This is not Ghostbusters. This is Ghost Hunters. You are going in and trying to figure out what this is. What kind of ghost is here? And that's it. And then you leave. You get in your van. To leave, you get in your van. Everyone gets in. You hit the leave button on the van, and you drive away. So you're hired to do a job and figure out what type of ghost is haunting this building. And you've got all this.
You just go tell the owner, you're like, well, it's this ghost, so
it's
good luck
wraith.
with whatever that is.
So here's how you get rid of a wraith. I don't know, like what the next.
He's like,
steps
dude,
are.
I hired you to just tell me. Who do I need to hire? Oh, that's a different.
Oh,
person.
that's
we
the
don't get rid of
Ghostbusters. We're not Ghostbusters.
That's terrifying. We just go look at them and run away.
So, and I think this game is well built because there are things that make it more complex. Like you can only hold 3 items at a time. And one of them is always a flashlight. So you really only have like 2 items. And you've got to find... So that's why it's better as a team. So everyone kind of split up the gear so you can find first evidence. So you have to find what room it's in. And some of the houses are very big. You got to find the room, and then you start doing all your tests. Well, if you piss the ghost off enough... Oh, and Danny mentioned this, but a big aspect of this is you talk to each other through... the in-game voice chat, which is essentially like it's a push to talk.
Oh my god!
Because it's like you're talking in like a walkie-talkie, right? And the ghost can hear all of it. So certain things you can say to make the ghost mad. If you say its name enough, it starts to get mad.
I love that.
If you get scared, so there's a whole list of things online where you can like look up what can I say, and you ask it what its name is and where are you? Are you in the room? Right? You like talk to the ghost through some equipment to try to get readings. But if your sanity level goes down enough, it will start hunting you and it will kill you. So
what does that look like? Does it describe how scary it is for me?
Okay, dude, I have gotten terrified. Sometimes, so there's ghost events that happen, but then there's ghost hunts, and sometimes the events like all of a sudden the lights start flashing and you start hearing a heartbeat, and then and then there'll be like a ghost right in front of you squatting down, or you'll see it walk away, and you're like, ugh! Like it freaks me out. And then it doesn't matter how much I've played this, I'm still scared. When the ghost kills you, your flashlight starts flickering, and that's how you know you're being hunted. The only way, I hate this part. The only way to stop it is if you have like the crucifix or something like that. But if it started hunting you, you have to essentially hide. So you run into a closet, turn your flashlight off, and like crouch. And you're sitting there hiding in a closet with the doors closed, and you can hear the ghost walking around looking for you. You can hear its footsteps, and you're just in there. And sometimes the closet doors will open, and when it kills you, its hands creep behind like in front of your eyes, like it's reaching from behind, and then it kills you. And it's terrifying. Anyway.
Wow. You say you fend this thing off with a crucifix?
I mean, there's different ways. And there's a ton of different things. There's a Ouija board you can do. There's a lot to it. And they're adding tons of content. They're constantly adding content. So that's the other good part. They've got plans for like a version 2.0. Like they're going hard with this game. Is a lot of maps. The more people you have, the more maps you can do, because you don't want to do like a huge map with 2 people, because you'll never find the ghost. You'll go crazy and get killed before that happens. So
Interesting.
dude, it's wow. It's a lot of fun. It is terrifying. I've only played about 6 hours of it because I can only
And
play
your
like
son is obsessed with this.
he loves it.
What's wrong with him?
It's a puzzle game. Like at its core is a puzzle game. You're just trying to put together the pieces to figure out what this is. And then sometimes like you have other objectives like get a picture of the ghost. Okay, what do I need to do to get the ghost to appear long enough that I can get a picture, right? So it is a puzzle game where you're trying to solve something. And he has one buddy who's like, they love it. They love it. And they're obsessed with it. I'm terrified. I think this game is an incredible feat. It's very different from anything else I've played. And so as a first impression, Rose, the first round I ever played of this game, we lost. I didn't know what I was doing. We were terrible. We were trying to figure out controls and everything. I was obsessed with it immediately.
It's like first date at a mini golf place.
I fell in love, and I love this game. Man, this is a great game. It came out in 2020. I'd heard about it a bunch of times. Like I said, Danny talked about it.
Yeah.
But I think the hype is not oversold. It is scary, but it's not so horrifying that like you can't play it. Sometimes it gets more scary than others. Like I played around tonight, wasn't scary at all. Like we figured it out. It was really easy. So I just Phasmophobia, I absolutely love it. It gets my first impression rose, and probably the next several roses. It's a game I'll continue to play with my son. I'll never play it by myself. That doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, that sounds like a psychopath behavior.
Yeah, but
from everything you said about this game, playing it by yourself would be alarming to find out someone was doing that.
And sometimes, like, the ghost has scared me enough where I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna go sit in the van and watch the screens while you go figure out
you
the
can
rest.
just bail on your team at any point and go sit in the van.
Well, like you have to go sit in the van at some point and monitor. That's why it's better with more people. You have to like monitor from the van. So yeah, this game gets my first impression rose. I love it. This is, if I had to compare it to a food, this is like a foreign food that you've never had, and then you finally have it and you love it, which for me is like a banh mi sandwich. And only for that reason, because I had heard about banh mi. I was like, I don't know if that's for me. You know, it's got all these veggies on it, and I'm iffy on a lot of veggies. And I was like, I don't know if I want this. And then the first time I had one, I was like, this sandwich is absolutely for me. I love it. The veggies work. So in this game, the horror aspects of it work. It is scary, but it's not going to destroy your soul like some other games I've played. So yeah, this is Phasmophobia.
Scary, but not at the cost of your soul. I do like that.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Then we're just gonna do one more game. So many games to play. That's all we're doing is playing so many games. So now we're spin on up to the next one, Dice Destiny.
Dice of Destiny.
All right, Dice of Destiny is this game we play at the end of every episode. We roll a 6-sided dice to see who will be responsible for rolling this Dice of Destiny, a 20-sided dice with 20 different game genres assigned to it. Then we will, that person that rolls that genre, they roll a 6-sided dice to find the price that they can spend on that game. Then they find a game in that genre for that price, pick it, play it, and review it. Peterson, a couple weeks back, rolled a building game. For $20, he picked a game called The Planet Crafter. Peterson, tell us all about The Planet Crafter.
So I did play Planet Crafter quite a bit, but I will jump in and say JD played way more than I did. But so he will jump in and help. But Planet Crafter, first off, this is a game made by Studio. It's developed and published by Miju, M-I-J-U, Miju Games. It's a French couple, and can I be honest? I was reading about this and I was pretty jealous because it is a husband-wife, I think, that
be a thing.
Just make games together, and they've made a couple games, and their latest is Planet Crafter. It came out, officially released. It's early access, March 24th of this year. So it has been out exactly a month as of time we're recording. Wow. What do I say about this game, JD? So this is, I had it wish listed, and it looks a lot like No Man's Sky from the pictures and images.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's kind of reminiscent of No Man's Sky. Like the building feels a little bit like it. But it is very different in terms of what it actually is and what you're doing. So
miles apart.
Yeah, so this is a game where you are dropped on a planet, like a Mars-like planet. It's pretty much Mars.
Yeah,
by
it's just Mars.
Yeah, by yourself. And you've got very little resources, and it's a survival game where you have to build. But your whole purpose is you are terraforming this planet. That is the crux of the game. JD and I were talking about this the other night. There's no combat. There's not even a thing you can fight with. There's no enemies. There's nothing else alive on this planet. It is just you. And there are like wrecks of spacecraft that have, obviously crash landed on this planet from maybe other failed attempts or something.
Yeah.
That you go and explore. The map is designed, so it is not a
procedurally generated.
Yeah, it's not procedurally generated, which makes it different than I feel like a lot of games in this genre.
The survival genre, almost always it's procedurally generated, like Minecraft and Valheim, right?
Yeah, and this is not. I feel like actually it would be a lot of fun if it was procedurally generated, but I think it would be hard to do some of the things that they're trying to do.
I don't think they could do it with the team they have.
Yeah.
I think if they had a couple other people that could work that
at
out.
At least.
But God, that would be such a larger scope for this game. I think that's what helps it be so polished and the world to feel so engaging, is that it is very designed and very thought out. And one of the things about the world that I learned after playing, by the way, I have played this game for 5 or 6 days and I have 33 hours already.
Yeah, he's played it double what I have.
I'm just like playing it to like 2 a.m. shit. And it is, like Peterson said, there's nothing. It's cookie clicker. It's just making numbers go up. That's all I'm doing is wandering around making numbers go up. The map is very brilliant in the design, that there are areas that initially when you start wandering around, you can find them and they feel so fucking far away, and you need to monitor your oxygen, your food, and your water levels. And initially food and water are only really accessible like by your base, and oxygen you have to craft oxygen tanks. So if you want to go far, you have to like pack up your backpack and go wandering out there, and you can't carry that much stuff.
And your
back.
Inventory is limited, especially at the beginning. It grows as you play, but at first it is like tiny.
Yeah, and so you're wandering around what seems like this massive map, and you will randomly run into the ice, like a wall of ice that says it will melt at a certain temperature. And when you look at the current temperature on the planet and the speed at which you are currently heating the planet, you think, well, that ice is never gonna fucking melt.
This gonna melt it when I gotta play this game for 2 years,
like 2 weeks or something, and then maybe. But eventually, as you warm the planet more, that ice melts and the caves open up. And as more caves open up, you realize that the map is all very close and very interconnected. Yeah. But they created these gates that are unlocked as you terraform the planet more. And they unlock it like the most perfect time too, because that's when you're like, ooh, I really want to explore the whole planet. Now I have a bigger oxygen tank. Now I can carry more food.
I've got a jetpack where I can move a lot faster.
I can just cruise everywhere, and now I can really explore. And so when you talk about that experience being replicated, it would be, I can't even fathom how you would do that procedurally generated. To be fair, I can't fathom how Valheim's procedurally generated either. It's so amazing. But the fact that they built the map is really cool. And one thing that Peterson I've noticed is that there are a ton of blank areas, because this is early access. It's like,
dude, it's not even 0.5.
It's 0.42, I think, is the release number that's on right now. So it's super duper early, and it's still at this stage feels very fleshed out, right?
Yeah, it feels like it's a good game. To be honest, it is a good game. I'm not encountering major bugs or anything.
It's mostly just areas.
There are
of
things
the
that I
map.
wish would be like better, like building could be a lot better.
Building's a mess right now. There's not. It
Um,
doesn't really snap super well together. The pieces don't
Yeah.
really.
Yep.
Kind of do, but not really.
Yeah, so like the building is a little wonky for a building game, but it's not, and I guess that's the big outside the building. Once you're inside the building, it's very easy to like do what you
Yes,
want,
true.
but outside
That's
the
true.
buildings is hard. Yeah, and there's big
That's a good
blank
point.
areas. There's just like huge deserts that are just like empty. But when JD says this is like a cookie clicker game, essentially, because what you're doing is you're trying to build an atmosphere so it can start growing. So the first thing you're increasing the heat on the planet.
Heat,
Your
pressure, and oxygen, and then later biomass.
Yeah, so introducing plants. But one of the cool things, it was annoying, but it's so incredible, is as the ice starts to melt and the temperature goes up, well, that water's got to go somewhere. So these big valleys turn into lakes. Like there's a lake where my base used to be. I had to like pack up and move when the water started coming out and filling up.
Dude, and I gotta say, I hate that we're telling you guys this in a small part because when I stepped outside of my base for the first time and saw a tiny little pool of water in this, it's like Mars. The planet
Yeah.
looks like fucking Mars, and you see this little pool of water, and it's like, what the?
Yeah.
And then it starts to fill up more, and you're like, no way. But then there is a time you step out of your base for the first time, or because you hear something, and you're like, what is going on? And it's raining.
Yeah.
And you look up and the sky is kind of blue, and you've been on this Mars planet this whole time.
Yeah.
The sky starts blowing up, it starts raining, and guys, it scratches. I was telling Jenna, it scratches like an existential itch in my mind, where with Valheim, I don't have like a need to go build a cabin and fight boar and cook them and live in the wilderness and do things like a Viking. Going and terraforming a planet and like just doing this type of thing and bringing a garden to a desert dead world, it just scratched.
It's weirdly satisfying.
Yes, it scratched an itch in my mind that was like, oh my god, we're gonna need to be doing this on Mars in the next century. And the thought of just seeding the planet with 1 million humans with this like setup, I'm like, it would be so fun.
As things turn greener, it is very satisfying. And here's something this is a big deal to me. This game absolutely rewards exploration, which is a big deal for me, because I hate it when you go to a game and you're like, ooh, I found this little area and there's like nothing. Like there is stuff everywhere in this game.
Yep. They've so there's crates you can find everywhere, just crates with random things. And there's golden crates. And the golden crates are so rewarding. There are items that you need to spend like a ton of time collecting them and then crafting them into this one item and then crafting that into another item. But it's sometimes you can just find that final item in abundance in a golden crate. And you're like, oh, thank God. Now I can just keep going without having to do all this crafting. So there's such huge rewards for exploring.
Yeah. So this is a big Dice of Destiny review, but this game is a joy to play. It is not stressful at all.
Nope.
At all. It is
even if you die.
It's easy to stay alive. If you die, you just go back and you pick up all your stuff. And you
don't lose anything.
And there's no like it's easy to stay alive if you're paying attention. The only time you die is when you get so cocky that you're like, I forgot that I need to breathe.
Yeah, which is lame.
So yeah, this game is it's addicting to play, and it's peaceful to play. It's not stressful. I'm not killing anything, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. See what they add. See what they want to do, because they still got a long way to go,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many things they could do with it, so many things that they've got like a foundation. I feel like we have done a bit of a disservice not describing the main loop that you started to get into with the cookie clicker thing. So you've got these different elements that you're trying to raise, and so if you get your oxygen to a certain level, you may unlock a heater.
Yeah.
And then you can build that heater. And then now if your heat gets to a certain level, you may unlock a pressure machine that releases gas from the planet, and you build that pressure machine. And once your oxygen and your pressure goes up high enough, now you unlock this thing. And then so it's just these different elements, and they're playing off of each other, and you're unlocking things in these different like trees of crafting trees.
Yeah, and they're like scales. You typically they're magnitudes of order better than the last thing, so that's why it's Cookie Clicker-esque.
Yes,
because you just put them out and they work. As far as building goes, it's very forgiving in terms of where you're putting stuff. You can put stuff anywhere on the planet that
which
you
is
want.
so cool. There's no stringing up power cords
lines and
between
stuff.
things. So you build a pressure. Peterson, I don't know if I told you this, but I hid all my pressure things because I thought they were ugly. I hid them behind a boulder, behind that crash.
Yeah.
Way out there. And then I put that's where I built my launch pad too, because it was unseemly by my garden. And so like, but it doesn't matter because everything is power. If you build a power generator in some cave
on one end of the map,
they will power your things still. And so Peterson says absolutely forgiving. The stress level is so low. They want it's like the game wants you to succeed.
Yes,
it's not throwing roadblocks up. In fact, it's throwing everything at you to be like, do you want this? Here's some more stuff. Here's some more stuff. Try this. Try that. Yep. Or just sit back and wait, because you can just back and wait and the things will go up by themselves. They just constantly are going up, the numbers.
So yes, this game has it's early acts, very early. It feels good enough to play. It's under $20. It's like 20, I think. But this is a buy at the price. Buy at any price. Buy at the current price. Wish list it. Wait. Because this does feel like a game I'll boot up again in a year just to see what they've done. Because again, it's very easy to get into. It's not stressful, and it is kind of like, ooh, what would be fun to try this time, and that sort of thing. And so yeah, this is a buy at any price, which the current price, because it's not. I don't think it'll get more expensive.
$20. I think a full release it might go up to $30 in like 2 years or 3 years, because Valheim is not going to be $20 forever, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they find their sweet spot because it is a small game.
I would pay $40. I mean, fuck, I said it. I put 33 hours and 5 days into this game.
Yeah.
Any price, guys. Any price. Like, if this is your... like, what it is.
I don't know what it is.
It makes me feel so optimistic, like, as a fucking person. I know it's not like... This is all fantasy. It's like magic level technology that you can just point a gun at a node of some sort of raw mineral, and it would extract the ore of that material that you could then point that same gun at and build something out of it. Yes, it's fantastical. It's even by Tony Stark Iron Man standards,
right?
It's magical. But to look at something like that and be like, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Couldn't we fix a lot like this? I mean, it really is, like I said, if we had that level of technology, you could literally just drop a human being in a spacesuit on Mars and get to work. They could just start working.
Yeah.
Unless they needed potassium, because there's none of that on Mars.
Yeah. But
bring your BYOP.
Yeah. We're taking pills every morning.
And your bananas.
So great game.
Yeah, great game. If it were a food... I was trying to think of the parameter here is basic. It's what is something that hit me so hard and seemed like it was just like, this is meant to be. For me, that has been milkshakes. Jenna introduced me to milkshakes. It's not like I'd never heard of them. I just had never had a desire to get them before. I was like, it's just like
I thought you were gonna say milk, and I thought we were gonna get back into this again.
We're not getting into it. No, it's just milkshakes. Which I was like, dude, if I want milk, I'll just drink milk. I don't need to like put ice cream in it. I've never been like that big on ice cream either, so it was like milkshake was just kind of out. But every time Jenna and I, when we started dating, we go to like In-N-Out a lot, and she'd always get a milkshake, and then I'd start stealing sips. Or if you get a real thick one and you can't, she'd be like, hey, can you get this thing going through the straw for me?
Oh my gosh.
That's what boyfriends do. They get the milkshake going. Getting
that,
purple in the
shake
face because
pump.
you're trying to suck the sick malt.
I got this.
I got it being tough. Oh, watch this, babe. Got the milkshake going. And I started to just fall in love with him, and I was like, holy shit. It wasn't started. It was pretty instant. I was like, I have been missing out. This is a delicious food item. So yeah, Planet Crafters milkshakes for me. It just hit, and now I get them every time. I always get a milkshake. I don't resist. They're so amazing.
Dude, that's a pretty good one. I was trying to think, and I was thinking kind of along the same lines. Like, what's something so basic that I'm just comfortable eating. I can eat a lot of, and I'm not sick of it, dude. And the only thing I could think of was goldfish crackers. You know how much I love goldfishies. These are a thing that, like, look, I know I like survival building games, right? But something about this one is so stress-free, and for me, that's goldfish because they're good enough, but they're not greasy like a Cheez-It. They're not oily, and so I can just sit there and chomp on goldfish forever, and I never feel gross because I'm just like, yeah, I'm just.
And
eating.
It's 2 a.m. and you're just terraforming goldfish. Like, oh,
yeah, like I should probably stop at some point. So that's how I feel like this game is just so easy to eat. It's so easy going down. I don't feel bad, even though I maybe should feel bad about playing it so much, but I don't feel bad. I enjoy it the whole time, and I don't feel gross afterwards. So, dude, this is a great
honorable
game.
mention for mine would be a chocolate croissant. Now that I'm thinking of it, because I was like, this is developed by a French husband and wife. I'm like,
I didn't even think of the French thing.
I was like, a French, because the first time I had a chocolate croissant, I was living in Spain, and I was like, this is the most magical thing ever. They're not that exciting. It's just like a little nugget of chocolate inside of a croissant.
Yeah.
Like, it's never like evenly spread.
But for some reason, once you get that chocolate bite, you're like, oh,
the whole thing has been worth it. And you're sipping on coffee through the whole thing. And it's just like enjoyable. And like you said, it's just so basic. That's where you kind of got me thinking on something else, because it's just like the flaky pastry and chocolate. That's it. Ooh, okay. All right. So that means we have a re-roll. God, I hope it's another one.
I want everybody to play this game, by the way. I don't know why.
Do.
I just want everyone to play it.
I'm going to be mentioning it a lot. I think this is the earliest I have been in on a game. I feel like I was pretty early on Valheim, but people had been playing that game for a year and a half. So, it is, I feel like, kind of cool being earlier in this game, and I feel like you and I will be having a funny conversation in a year about like, oh, remember when they didn't have this in it? We're like, oh yeah, I can't believe we used to play it without X. Like, that's wild. So I hope that's a lot of opportunities. That means we got to re-roll. I'm including Jenna in this one because she mentioned she had never even been present for a dice roll, so she hadn't been in the running. So I was like,
dude,
okay,
throw
well,
Jenna in the mix.
I'm gonna throw you in the mix.
But I'm gonna need less numbers this time because I've done 2 in a row now.
Yeah, deal. Okay, so we will give you 1, the Pokemon. So you're gonna be 1. I will be 2, 3. Jenna will be 4, 5, and 6 will be a reroll.
Is it the 1? Do we get it? Hey!
Do you want to reroll?
Let's do it. No, dude, the dice have decided.
I can't believe that.
It's
5
fine.
options.
It's fine. It's
and
fine.
Even Jenna was in the mix, and she's cursed not to get it. Okay, so
She'll
that
never
means
get
we've
it.
got to do this 20-sided dice.
Although I was thinking we do need to, after last time, like when we were looking at it, we should go through and revamp some of the categories.
That's a great idea.
We should do an update at some point soon.
That's a good call. Okay, which color do you want for your 20?
Black, baby.
Okay, it's a 6.
Okay.
And a 6 is roguelike.
Oh, please, dude. I have 40 on my wish list right now.
Baby, that's
me?
so cool. That's also funny because that is off and horror is now on.
Oh gosh.
So your son will be stoked if you roll that, if you roll another 6. Okay, and then finally we're gonna roll this 6-sided dice.
Don't mess it up.
And it's a 5. So you can spend $50 on a roguelike game.
Can I play Hades some more?
I mean,
Because
you can.
I
but
can't
not for Dice of Destiny.
I can't stop. I got back into it, and I can't not stop playing Hades.
What is with this? You have 4 active games you're playing right now that you're all addicted to.
It is a problem.
I have 2,
dude,
3 kind of because we did finally beat Valheim.
I still play Fortnite all the time with my kids. Like,
dude,
I am
you had
playing
Valheim
a lot
overlap
of games
here too.
Yes.
So you had Valheim,
6.
Phasmophobia. Oh my
Valheim, Fortnite, Phasmophobia,
What Weird
Weird
West?
West,
Planet
Hades, and now Planet Crafter. Like, this
That's
is a problem.
6 active games.
I feel like I don't have enough time in my life.
You're gonna give yourself schizophrenia, man. That's awesome. Good for you.
Dude, this is.
You're
gonna
making
be-
me feel like small by comparison. Like I'm not playing enough games.
Play more games, JD.
I'm sorry,
you
I'm such a
doing?
coward.
Seriously.
All right, so we will have that pick. Peterson will probably have the pick by the end of this evening. Actually,
This is my most my
For
most
his
favorite
$50
genre, so now
roguelike.
I'm looking right now.
I'm stoked. All right, that is it. That's it for us this week. And so we're gonna spin up some music from the game. We're both gonna probably end up playing after this. Planet Crafter. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm
Kind
JD.
of a long one.
It was a longie.
We had fun with it though.
A lot of fun. I didn't even say half the stuff. Logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK. We're really going terraforming.
But going to terraform the world.
Peterson Productions. Oh yeah.